Hey folks, Machinery Pete here, and we have a special guest. This is Josh Kempel. Josh is the manager of aftermarket portfolio for John Deere Reman. And Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Greg. Great to be here.
Yeah, now we have a big day coming up, April 14th. Can you tell me about it, Josh?
April 14th, Greg, is Global Reman Day, and this will be the fourth year that John Deere will be participating in this industry-wide event. This event started as a result of a collaboration with our Reman Industries Council and some of their members, and this is really a way for us to promote and create some excitement around the remanufacturing industry.
Well, boy, I would think the timing of it this year, holy smokes, with the way the farm equipment market is, I guess all equipment markets, but I mean, you tell me if I'm off base here, Josh, but I'm sensing a big lean in from the farm audience around the whole reman topic, given that, you know, the supply chain of ordering new is so problematic now. And of course, I've been reporting on the used values just skyrocketing like I've never seen in 32 years. So there must be, I'm guessing, increased interest in reman to keep your own equipment running.
You're certainly right, Greg. Just as you mentioned, with new equipment being tight and those used equipment values being really strong, people really are looking for ways to keep their machines up and running and really control their owning and operating costs during that ownership period.
Well, Josh, we need to get more specifics here on the John Deere Reman program. I've out there looking. You guys have some awesome YouTube videos. And of course, people can hop onto Deere.com or just Google John Deere Reman and find this great info. But I'm seeing, you know, things like 25 to 30% less cost versus new components, but then also the warranty aspect. I would guess hugely important and a value to farmers out there. Can you just tell us about the John Deere Reman program?
Yeah, those are great points, Greg, and we really believe that the Reman product carries a very strong value proposition with it. As you mentioned, it's not only just the cost aspects of the 20 to 30% below the price of equivalent new products, but we also have to factor in the downtime savings that happens through component exchange, right? The customers purchase a part from us, and then they return their used part, and then that's what we use to put back into our program. That downtime savings is really the result of less labor from not doing local rebuilds at the local dealer. You know, they're putting a factory built, factory warranted part back onto their machine, which reduces the cycle time of that downtime event. And as you mentioned, that the comprehensive warranty is really one of the selling features. Our warranty today is 1 year parts warranty when customer installed, as well as 1 year parts and labor when it's dealer installed. So there's really there really is a nice benefit of having that warranty backed by John Deere.
Boy, you know, data guy that I am, I've been compiling auction prices for 3+ decades, Josh, and you know, regardless, whatever type of warranty, when folks are selling, I always tell them, don't bury the lead. If you have that warranty coverage on a part or, you know, an engine, whatever, just put that right at the top of the listing, because frankly, it makes a difference in what it's worth.
Yeah, and we continue to hear that feedback from our dealers and customers as well, that really what separates John Deere from others in the industry is that Deere-backed warranty that they get with our product.
How about the aspect, Josh, of you know, if you're a farmer and you're looking at going the reman route with Deere, knowing the cost up front, I imagine that must be somewhat appealing to customers.
Yeah, I believe so. I think anytime, you know, you open yourself up to a repair or rebuild scenario, there's always going to be that fear of the unknown cost. And with our product, you're really getting what we like to call prepackaged parts and labor. You know, you essentially know your costs up front, and you know, working with your John Deere dealer to get those quotes, I think people can make a decision very quickly on how they'd like to proceed with their repair.
The thing with Reman that has kind of struck me too, Josh, I mean, is you know, when you guys are making these parts and components, I mean, this is what you do. I mean, the quality, I mean, that's a huge part of this value prop, I would imagine.
It is. You know, I think there is significant value in the fact that our products are built and tested by factory trained technicians. I think one of the misconceptions about remanufactured parts is that people think they're still used parts. And I think the reality is that in our industry, when we talk about remanufactured components, every part is completely disassembled down to each nut, bolt, component, and every part is inspected, cleaned, re-inspected, and qualified back to the original OEM specifications. And then you build that product back up from piece parts to the full assembly, and then we test that product back to the same specs as which that part was built and tested when it was originally new.
Wow.
And so it is a very comprehensive process, and the fact that our technicians and installers do that day in and day out, it really delivers a quality product.
Wow. And let's dive a little deeper there and talk about those people. John Deere Reman. Now your office, your headquartered is at Southwest Missouri, Josh?
That is correct. We are located in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
We've been here since the mid to late 1990s, so over 20 years here in Springfield, and we have continued to see tremendous growth of our business. We continue to add people. We continue to add new products to our product line. But again, I think the benefit that we have is that we are part of John Deere. We are a John Deere factory. You would see the same type of skilled labor, and you would see the same types of tools that you would see in our John Deere tractor factories and our John Deere combine factories. So I think that helps really promote the fact that we are building quality product.
And did I see it was roughly a year ago, I think, John Deere Reman, I think you guys added like north of 100 folks there and at the plant in Missouri. On the one hand, that's a huge feat these days with finding talent, but I guess it shows the growth in the remanufacturing segment here.
Yeah, it certainly does, Greg. I mean, those additions came as a result of some factory consolidation work that we've been doing as part of our long-term vision of this business. But to your point, yeah, we have been able to add a number of people to our operations here. Certainly, it has been a challenge. I mean, the economy is very competitive right now for workforce. But I think, again, having that John Deere name, especially in this part of the country, people recognize that name, and they recognize us as a first-rate employer.
Right. Well, hats off to Deere for investing in the Midwest U.S. here in the reman sector. And I'm curious a little bit, Josh, about just the whole integration with folks, local John Deere dealers, who of course keep them running. And dealers are there to service their customers. And on the reman side, how does it all flow through the folks' local dealer?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, our John Deere Reman parts portfolio is only available through our John Deere dealer network. So we do thank them for their continued support of our program. From a customer perspective, John Deere Reman parts are listed in the parts catalog, just like all of the other John Deere parts that are available to support their machines. And so the customers can see the breadth of portfolio offerings that we can support them over their life cycle. Dealers order their parts from us like standard service parts. The thing that does make remanufactured parts a little unique is the fact that we need the used component, or what we call core, back after that part is purchased, because that used component becomes our raw material that we put then back through the process. So that is what makes Reman a little bit unique. But beyond that, our dealers certainly are big promoters of our product. They believe firmly in the quality of the product. They really like the fact that it carries this 1-year warranty. They like the fact that it has that price advantage. But I think the other aspect that's really important from our dealers' perspective is the fact that they too are challenged with finding and recruiting technicians. And when you think about the benefits of Reman, it's a way to help drive technician efficiency as well. Why would you tie up a technician to do a 60-hour engine rebuild when you could do an engine swap for 10 or 15 hours?
Right.
A big advantage to our dealers from a technician shortage situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good use of talent across the organization. And again,
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued, Josh, you're saying you're getting increased inquiries from farmers for looking for more parts and components to be added to the John Deere Reman repertoire?
Yeah, our team is certainly busy collecting feedback from various parts of the market, whether it's direct from customers, whether it's our dealers, whether it's our internal factories. People really seem to be beating the Reman drum right now, and so we are really excited about those opportunities, and we really think that the Reman business has additional long-term growth ahead of us.
Well, from where I sit, I would completely agree, Josh, and I'll just leave you, again, I'll tee you up and talk. Let's, just leave people again with two things. One, just your statement about the value prop of John Deere Reman. And then two, if they're interested, well, how would you suggest they proceed forward, whether gathering information or steps they can take?
Sure. Well, we've certainly talked about a number of aspects of that value proposition so far. Again, typically we start with the price, right? 20 to 30% average discount from the price of new is really what brings people in the door. I think that's further supported by the fact of that John Deere backed factory warranty, both parts and labor if dealer installed. From a customer benefits perspective, it's very important to recognize that there is reduced machine downtime through that component exchange process. And then one of the parts that we didn't really touch on, Greg, is the fact that when we rebuild and remanufacture these products, we integrate the latest and greatest design enhancements. So if over the life of that part there had been design changes or updates to that part, we are taking all of that product back to the latest and greatest design specifications. So oftentimes we say that our product leaving our factory is better than it was originally new, because in most cases the same failure mode should not happen again because of those design enhancements. And then finally, again, we don't probably beat this drum enough, but it's also important to recognize the sustainability and circular economy aspects of remanufacturing. Right, we are reusing raw materials, we are reducing waste, we are reducing energy and water consumption. As we look forward, I think all of those aspects are going to be very important for all of us to recognize the benefits of those as well.
Right. Well, and making it available, for, farm operators around North America and the world to be able to, feel good about taking part in that. That helps everyone in the ag space. So again, hats off, Josh, for what you're doing to drive things with John Deere Reman and for Deere with this great program. And again, if folks want more info, again, you've got great YouTube videos out there. But would you suggest they just Google John Deere Reman and then they'll get to the right spot?
Yeah, sorry, Greg, I didn't mention that, but you're right. Check us out on the internet. You can Google John Deere Reman. Go to Deere.com. We do have a landing page there for our remanufactured products. But more importantly, if they have some specific questions, I feel they should reach out to their local John Deere dealer, and they'll get all the answers they need.
Right. Well, Josh Kimpold, manager of aftermarket portfolio, John Deere Reman. This has been a great conversation. And again, thank you for queuing us up with this great info in advance of April 14th, Global Remanufacturing Day. Josh, you guys are doing a great job there, and yeah, just keep rocking it.
Thanks, Greg. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.